All right, gang, we're going to draw a silly Kuh-niggut, or a knight if you prefer. We always start with an oval at the head, give him kind of a curvy backbone here. I like this picture because it gives us an opportunity to use some of the techniques we used just a couple of lessons ago, where I showed you how to draw a human being in perfect proportions. So we're doing the same sort of thing here, using our sticks and balls to put together the skeleton, if you will, of our noble knight. And you can see I'm not being super careful here. I'm just kind of blasting this down. Where it's not perfect, I'll make corrections as I go. But perfect is definitely the enemy of good enough here. I'm always pleased with the results that I see when kids draw this lesson. They always do a great job. So let's see, I need to tuck his arm up a little higher here if it's going to be more like the lesson. I think I've got his arm a little bit long too. This is a good time to make these kind of adjustments while it's just kind of rough and blocky when I've only put a couple of minutes into it. If I wait until later, it's harder to make these adjustments. All right, so that's the basic skeleton. Now we're going to go in and put a little bit of flesh on him. Let's give him some fingers. He gets narrow at the wrist, but he's got big old muscles. One thing he definitely encourages you to do, this is Christopher. No, what's his name? Anyway, he encourages you to only bulge one side of the arm, not both sides. Because when you bulge both sides, you end up with the Michelin Man or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And that's not what we're after. That's not the look that we're hoping for in a noble knight. Fingers, there we go. Got a huge chest and a skinny little waist. Not really a realistic portrayal, but a idealized and stylized sort of person. It's a good time to take out some of these guidelines that we're not going to actually need in the final picture. Okay, good. We've got the rough outline. Now we can go in and finish up the picture here. You don't have to start at the top, I do, but You can start at any detail that makes sense to you, I suppose. He's definitely got his thumb on the outside there. When you make a fist or put your fingers together, you want the thumb on the outside, because if you're trying to open a jar or something like that by tapping on it, you've got your thumb on the inside, you can actually hurt your thumb. You got the hilt of the sword. Now the blade itself. That's a pretty long sword, which is actually what they would have called that. That's a long sword. Kind of a blonde English medieval knight here, wearing a cloak. I like the way he takes advantage of the different contours of the drawing, and he uses ornaments on the armor to add the contour lines. Instead of just making basic lines, you got something that adds some character to the drawing. It's kind of nice. And of course, one of the characters you have to have in a drawing like this, you have to have something on his chest. This is called heraldry. So in this case, he's got kind of a stylized eagle. Maybe it's a phoenix on his chest. That was a very important bit of the armor. You had to have some indication of which side you were on. So today, the football teams you see are the Philadelphia Eagles, the Detroit Lions. That way, the football players know who to throw the football to. Well, in a medieval battle, when everybody's got their armor on, you needed to have a picture on your armor so you'd know which side this person was on, so you didn't accidentally swing your sword at somebody who was on your side. So they would have pictures of eagles or lions or some other noble beast as their emblem, but not just an emblem, but a way to identify which side of the battle you were on. Now, his armor is kind of light. He probably has a mail shirt, M-A-I-L, that's as in chainmail. That would be a wire mesh that would prevent arrows from piercing his chest. And over that, he's wearing a tunic, which is a long shirt. And he cinches it at the waist with a belt. Might have some fancy embroidery on it down here. And on his legs, he would be wearing tights. Some wool knit pants, in effect. And they liked wearing tights because it let them show off the muscles in their legs, which at the time women found to be particularly attractive and alluring. So when a knight would be at a fancy ball or something like that, and he wanted the women to look at him, he would stick his leg out and pose so that they could see his very well formed calf muscles. And he would choose a particular leg with the best looking muscle. He was in effect putting his best foot forward. That's where that saying comes from. When anybody tells you you need to put your best foot forward, they mean like a fancy knight wearing leotards. You have to show off your very muscular leg. Okay, so there we have it. The basic noble knight. And you can use that with the Amazon warrior we already drew. And we drew the goblins for him to fight against. So you can mix these up and make your own stories with your different fantasy characters. And we'll do a couple more before the year is out. So thanks for your attention. I'll see you next week.